Hello, everyone. Really speaking, Sahaja Yoga actually has experiences day in, day out. Every day can be number of experiences. But now what happens is we actually forget that these are some very miraculous experiences. So one of the first, there are number of experiences that can be shared with you, but this is one of the first ones that I experienced and probably may help some of the new ones. So I used to, we were in India when we got our self-realization. Actually, it was in the building that we were living in. We had my wife's friend who was in the same building, and they used to go to different places together and all that. And they were yogis, and she one day told my wife Sunanda that, why don't you come, we have some meditation type of thing. So she came home and told me, they are calling us. And I said, it's all rubbish. People try to brainwash you. They just try to, uh, you try to convince yourself that something, it is something. So anyway, she insisted and we went to their house. So they had the self-realization experience. I felt nothing. My wife felt. And I kept again saying, you know what, you have just convinced your mind that this is something like this that's going to happen, and you are now making your body feel it's cool, whereas there was nothing. So this guy afterwards came to our house. He would even foot soak with us, explain to me. He took me to different people, yogis' houses, to try and get me convinced. And it didn't really work with me. I always had questions and questions and questions. So after that, it was soon time for us to come to Canada. And we came over here, and we came across a yogi who was starting Sahaja Yoga classes. They were short classes for 4 weeks and so on. And I used to think that, yeah, I can get a job instantly in 15 days, based on the work that I used to do. But Canada didn't have anything like that. So being thoughtlessly aware was something next to impossible. I used to design computers and special purpose machines, and my mind would always be working on some fictitious or some imaginary circuit, and I would be working on that all the time. It never could be silent. So I would never feel. My wife continued to feel. She started to feel again, and she would say, well, fortunately, I did not give up. I continued meditating. I would always sit at home, foot soak every day, and also go to the classes that were there. And what would happen is, for 4.5 months, I felt absolutely nothing. And then one fine day, when we would go to the class, what I started to notice is my thighs would start to feel cool. And I would say, you know what? This is summertime. I'm wearing shorts. Maybe it's because of that. It's the air conditioning. And I will sit next time on a separate seat. Coming home, I would feel nothing. So it was one thing for sure that we need to remember is, when we are meditating collectively, it gives us a lot of strength that we start to feel something. We'll come to all this a little later. And after that, I would try, okay, it must be the fan, it is the air conditioning, whatnot. I did everything. And I go to the class and I am feeling it. Come home and I meditate and I feel nothing. And there were many more things that also happened. We will not go into that right now because I think time is short. So basically, what happened is it finally struck me that we are trying to uh, condense what is infinite into something that is finite. We, from our brain, whatever we do, we feel, and we, based on our conditionings and on our ego, we have, you can say, colored glasses in front of us. And we have this small window of our brain that is looking at the infinite. So all these conditionings and your brain are going to actually color your experience. And the other thing is, we have to always remember, we are trying to condense the infinite into finite, and that is not possible at all. So that was something that I had thought about sharing with you. The other thing that I would also like to add to this is that why would I feel only in the class? It was because when we are meditating collectively, and that's one of the reasons why Shri Mataji always said, meditate at least once a week in a collective fashion. So maybe my some center is weak, but there are so many others whose kundalinis are also awakened, and all put together is able to clear your chakras very, very fast. So that was one of the experiences. I mean, thinking of it, one same experience, I'll add a little more to this. As I was saying, I would all the time be designing something. So my mind was never ever quiet. I would never feel the silence really. So I always used to have so many doubts. And one fine day, after a meditation, you have people working on you from the back to make you feel better. The energy experience. I mean, basically the Sahaj workshops. So I sat down, and this old yogi who was there, he started to work on me and kept working and working. After 5-7 minutes, he tells me, "Can you stop thinking?" And that was a big shock for me. How does he know that I am actually thinking? And that was something, and that made me stop my thoughts for at least some time, or there were not too many thoughts. And after that, he was able to make me feel. And now he said, "Yes, now it's fine. I can feel your energy on the top of the head." So these small experiences, I hope, are going to actually help you in this journey of self realization. I mean, self realization basically is knowing yourself. If you have any questions, just please ask, or we can have Mahadev now sharing. Okay,
Thank you
thank you.
so much, Aditya Bhaiya. It was wonderful experience. And for the people with that intellectual brain, I'm sure they would have liked it so much.
Yeah,
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bhaiya.